is Madan Mohini Devi Dasi, and before I start, I would like to offer my obeisances to Gurudev. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. So in this world, people are always fighting, and what is one of the big reasons for those fights? They are always fighting over which God is greater. Some say this God is greater, some say this other God is greater. One example that we have is people who are fighting over who is the greatest between Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. And the Puranas continue to add to this conflict by giving some very confusing stories. One story says that Lord Shiva stood as a tall flame with no beginning or end. And Lord Brahma tried to find the top, and Lord Vishnu tried to find the bottom, but they couldn't do it. But on the other hand, there's another story. Whenever Lord Shiva gives a boon to an asura, he ends up getting in trouble himself, and he is fighting for his life. So he always has to go to Lord Vishnu for help. But there's even another story where there are 3 rishis doing a yajna, and they are fighting over who should get the yajna offering first. So the first rishi said, that offering should go to Lord Brahma because he is the first god. Then the other rishi said, no, it should go to Lord Shiva. The other one said, no, it should go to Lord Vishnu. So in this way, there are all these fighting. But now I will be reciting Brahma Samhita, chapter 5, sloka 15, which will dispel all these fights because we will learn like these 3 gods all come from a higher source. Vamangad Asrjat Visnum, Daksināngāt prajaapatim, Jyotirlinga mayam Śambhu, Kurca, desād, avāsrjat. So the meaning is, from the left side of Mahā-Viṣṇu comes Kshirodakasaya From the right side of Mahā-Viṣṇu comes Prajapati, who is Garbhodakasaya Vishnu. And from between the eyebrows of Mahā-Viṣṇu comes Lord Shiva. So who is Kshirodakasaya Vishnu? Kshirodakasaya Vishnu is none other than Paramatma, who resides in the hearts of every living being. Kshirodakasaya Vishnu is also the same Vishnu who is praised in the Vedas. And you may be wondering, why does he come from the left side? So for a god, the left side is the most prominent, and we can see that in examples that Radharani comes from the left side of Krishna, Parvati Devi takes the left side of Lord Shiva, and even in humans, our heart is to the left side. So who is Garbhodakasaya Vishnu? Garbhodakasaya Vishnu holds our Brahmanda and maintains it, and from his navel comes the lotus which Lord Brahma sits on. So now we're coming from Lord Shiva to Lord Shiva, who comes from between the eyebrows of Mahā-Viṣṇu. Lord Shiva resides in the material world in Vitalaloka and takes care of the destruction of this Brahmanda. So I have talked about 3 Vishnus so far, who is Kshirodakasaya Vishnu, Mahā-Viṣṇu, and Garbhodakasaya Vishnu. But in fact, out of these 3 Vishnus, one is not completely spiritual and is in fact a demigod. And that Vishnu is Garbhodakasaya Vishnu. Why is he a demigod, you may ask? That is because he is involved in material management, just like Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, and even Lord Indra and Vayu. That's why they are all considered demigods. So in conclusion, we have learned that we don't need to fight over who is the greatest between Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva because they all come from a higher source, who is Mahā-Viṣṇu. And even Mahā-Viṣṇu has a higher source, who is Lord Narayana, and even Lord Narayana has a higher source, who is the highest source, who is Swayam Bhagavan Shri Krishna, who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Thank you and Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna.